Foreign Minister, thank you so very much for joining me here on the Erin Mouldon Show. It's a real honour to have you.
Thank you, Laarין. Thank you for having me.
I want to start, if we can, in Ireland. One of the first things you did when you took on this role was to shut down the Israeli embassy in Dublin. I'd say smart decision, given how horrific they have been, particularly since October 7. Can you tell me what they have done lately, their latest proposal, which should not only offend Israelis and the Jewish community globally, but their own people as well?
Last two things they had just done during the last week is one, calling with Spain to boycott Israel from participating in the Eurovision Song Contest, which is, by the way, in contradiction to what the European audience would like, because we were #1 in terms of the popular vote in the last Eurovision Song Contest last year. But anyhow, to get cultural things involved because of political disputes is so low, but they had done lower than that. The City Council of the City of Dublin, which is the Irish capital, just decided to remove the name of Chaim Herzog, which was the president of the State of Israel, and his son is the president of the State of Israel now, and his father was the chief rabbi of Ireland, to remove his name from a street which is called on his name as a distinguished person, which remind us of Nazi regime deeds when they systematically removed Jewish names from streets just before the Holocaust. This is one of the first things that the Nazi regime did at the time, and changed it to other names. I believe it's the lower point, but who knows what they will do tomorrow.
Talk to me about the Muslim Brotherhood decision coming out of America, if you can. A long time coming. It strikes me as utterly insane that we have Muslim nations who understand the evil that this organisation presents and have already done this. Western nations are left behind when it comes to this. But finally, we're seeing movement. It's not as comprehensive or as quick as a lot of people would like, but is this a good start, or would you like to see America do more?
Well, first of all, it's an American decision, and I welcome this decision because I think it's right, it's appropriate. Muslim Brotherhood is a very dangerous ideological organization which push Muslim communities around the world, including in the Western Hemisphere, towards radicalism. And this is very dangerous. And in our region, it is working in order to topple the moderate Arab regimes like in Jordan or in Egypt. Lately, Jordan outlawed this organization, and I think it is very wise for Western countries to do that in order not to get their Muslim communities being radicalized.
I want to ask about where we're up to in Gaza with the peace deal. Almost daily, I'm seeing images coming through of Hamas slaughtering their own people, hurting their own people, torturing their own people. Of course, the mob who used to chant for those in Gaza have gone very silent when it comes to any of this. Is it realistic that we see something that holds, or do you think that we're on the brink of Israel having to do more? I know they're doing missions now and doing little things, but when do you make the call to actually go in and disarm Hamas militarily, because they don't look like they're doing much of it themselves?
Well, first of all, we are committed to do whatever we can do in order that Trump's plan will be successful. It's not that we don't have doubts, but I think that if we can try to achieve the objectives that we define in a diplomatic way, it is okay. It's better than to do it in a military way, and we will give it a chance. We will give it a fair chance. It is true that Hamas is now strengthening its hold over the population in its part of Gaza Strip, because today Gaza Strip is like split 50-50 between the places we are staying and the places that Hamas still controls. And eventually there should be established this ISF, the International Stabilization Force, that the U.S. is working in order to establish. And they will probably have to deal with this very difficult task of disarming Hamas and demilitarization of Gaza Strip as a whole, in order that it won't be a threat anymore to the state of Israel. And let's see what will happen with that. This ISF was also included in the Security Council resolution that passed only 2 weeks ago. For the time being, we have, in Middle Eastern terms, a ceasefire. They are breaching the ceasefire from time to time. We are responding, and sometimes we need to act against time-critical threats. But with regard to the heart of the plan is to disarm Hamas. And that probably won't happen before the ISF will be on the ground there. And I don't assume it will happen before January.
Elon Musk recently introduced something on X that would require accounts to show where they are from, and that has exposed a lot of fraudulent accounts in that space. A lot of accounts that were pretending to be, say, based in America and then amplifying this hate against Israel. So everyday Americans might look at this and think, oh, wow, this is what most people in my country think. They must be onto something. Well, they've been exposed now. We get told all the time the entire world hates Israel. Yes, there's a chunk that does, but you are actually visiting different countries. You are hosting leaders from other nations. You are interacting firsthand. Tell me, does the world actually hate Israel, or is this just part of this evil and this ideology that wants us to think they do? What are leaders telling you? I've got a list here recently in the last month: Hungary, Romania, Estonia, Latvia, India, Paraguay, Argentina. These are your visits in the last month or so. What feedback are you getting? Are you hated everywhere you go?
No. First of all, we shouldn't deny there is a huge wave, very well financed, of anti-Israeli and anti-Semitic approach, mainly in the Western Hemisphere. We see it, and it is fueled by money. What Elon Musk did is very important in demonstrating that some of the so-called Palestinian voices are not Palestinians at all, and they were heard from totally distant countries. But maybe the next step should be, in order that we really understand the things, to discover or to expose how much it is financed and not very authentic in large part of it. It's not that we are isolated. It's not that we don't have friends. We do have friends, and we are strengthening our connections, but we are facing a huge anti-Semitic wave. I would say that for 80 years after the Holocaust, anti-Semitism was not so in fashion. People were more shy, more hiding their anti-Semitism, but now it's fashionable again. And you can see that. I'm sure you can see it in Australia as well. We have great friends in Australia, but we do face some anti-Semitic phenomenon, and sometimes it is connected to also anti-Western approaches as a whole. So we have a lot of work to do, and this is what I'm doing. I just hosted the Foreign Minister of Denmark, who was here today, just to demonstrate that we have visits all the time of high-level visits in Israel, and people want to interact. Some of them, or a lot of them, expose that they know we are right more than they can express because of pressure coming from public opinion, mainly from larger Muslim communities in their countries.
Last question, Minister. I know your time is very valuable. I was looking at a few different things in local Israeli media, and there was a little bit of speculation that you might be going into another portfolio, potentially into head of defense. Is there any truth to any of that? And how long do you think we'll see you in the current role? And do you have further aspirations anywhere else?
I'm good in my ministry. I have a lot of work to do here. It's a huge battle, public opinion battle all over the world. It's one of the greatest battles. We should be excellent, and that's what I'm trying to do. Diplomatic battle, public diplomacy battle, they are very important, so I'm totally concentrated on that, and it includes not to read all the newspapers all the time.
Unfortunately, my job includes reading all the newspapers all the time. Quick thing. Are you winning that battle, do you think, the diplomatic battle?
Well, the diplomatic battle is not necessarily equivalent to the public diplomacy battle.
Agree.
In the public diplomacy battle, we are still in inferiority, and we must acknowledge that. In the diplomatic battle, we were able to stop very dangerous movements, including sanctions in the EU and all this stuff, and we were able to conduct a very complicated war during 2 years, and with all the difficulties, maintaining our international positions. Not only that, as you hinted, we widened. We have today more embassies. I just opened a new embassy in Tallinn, in Estonia. I did it this year also in Moldova and Zambia, and I intend to do more in the next year. So we must see both challenges, the diplomatic challenge, but also the public diplomacy challenge. And probably this is one of the reasons I'm giving this interview.
Well, we appreciate that very much, Foreign Minister. Thank you so much for your time.
All the best. Thank you.